Dorothy's List 2019-2020. Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. The smiling man is a sinister specter who grants your most tightly held wish, but only for the ultimate price. This book scared the snot out of me. Fast-paced and spine-tinglingly delightful. I defy you to read the first 2 chapters without staying up the rest of the night to finish. You've been warned. So says Jonathan Auxier, New York Times bestselling author of The Night Gardener and Sophie Choir. Sweep, The Story of a Girl and Her Monster by Jonathan Auxier. Orphaned and alone, Nan Sparrow spends her days sweeping out chimneys. The job is dangerous and thankless, but with her wits and will, Nan has managed to beat the deadly odds time and time again. When Nan gets stuck in a chimney fire, she fears the end has come. Instead, she wakes to find herself unharmed and not alone. Huddled in the corner is a mysterious creature, a golem made from soot and ash. Willow of the Wood by Robert Beatty. To Willow, a young night spirit, humans are the murderers of trees. She's been taught to despise them and steal from them. She's her clan's best thief, creeping into the log cabins of the day folk under cover of darkness and taking what they won't miss. After Willow's curiosity leaves her hurt and stranded in the dayfolk world, she begins to discover the shocking truth, that not all of her human enemies are the same, and her people's magic is under attack. Willow will meet deadly force with trusted alliance, violence with shelter, and an ever-changing world with a steady heartbeat of courage. Drumroll Please by Lisa Jen Bigelow. Playing drums is the only time Quiet Melly doesn't feel like a mouse. She can't wait to spend the next 2 weeks at Camp Rockaway with her best friend Olivia, until her parents announce they're getting divorced. Olivia starts spending all her time with a boy at camp, and Melly meets Adeline, a girl with sandpaper voice and a beat-up guitar who helps Melly feel confident at a time when she feels anything but. After the past week, my best friend no longer seemed to know me. Whether it was because she'd forgotten or because I'd changed, I didn't know. But I wasn't the person she thought I was, not judging by the shock in her eyes. The Benefits of Being an Octopus by Anne Braden. If I were an octopus, things would be so much easier. I'd have 1 arm to wipe Aurora's nose, 2 more for holding both kids' hands when I pick them up from the Head Start bus stop to keep Bryce from wandering into the street after some rock he spotted, 1 to hold Hector in his diaper bag on the afternoons when my mom works at the pizza pit, 1 to adjust my shirt because it doesn't really fit and it can get too revealing if I'm not paying attention. And I don't want to be that girl. 1 so I could do my homework at least some of the time if I wanted. Back from the Brink by Nancy F. Castaldo. We are not alone on this great spinning planet. Alongside us are countless creatures with whom we share the Earth's space and resources. Sometimes we collide, and when we do, it's usually the animals that lose out. Come meet gray wolves, bald eagles, American alligators, the California condor, whooping cranes, the American bison, and the Galapagos tortoise through photographs, sidebars, and historical details, and learn what has been, is, and can be done to bring them back from the brink. The Truth is Told by Mason Buttle by Leslie Connor. Mason Buttle is the biggest, sweatiest kid in his grade, and everyone knows he can barely read or write. 15 months ago, Mason's best friend, Benny Kilmartin, turned up dead in the Buttle family's orchard. Mason, honest as the day is long, can't understand why Lieutenant Baird won't believe the story Mason tells about that day. When Mason's new friend goes missing, he's desperate to figure out what happened, but will anyone believe him? Louisianas Way Home by Kate D. Camillo. If you have not left your home in the middle of the night without even giving it a backward glance, if you have not left your cat and your friends, and also a one-eyed dog named Buddy without getting to tell any of them goodbye, if you have not stood on the side of the road in Georgia, somewhere just past the irrevocable state line, and waited for someone to come along and give you a ride, well then you cannot understand the desperation that was in my heart that day. Louisiana Elefante. Journey of the Pale Bear by Susan Fletcher. The bear snuffles me all over and then presents her great wide head to me to scratch, her left ear with the notch from where the pirate slashed her, her snout with the arrow's pitted scar. Once, she struck fear into the hearts of hardened sailors, swam for leagues in the sea without stopping, withstood a hail of arrows, waged battle against pirates, rescued a boy who had come to love her, and was flaunted and prized by kings. Once, long ago, when she and I were young. Fake Blood by Whitney Gardner. How could a girl like Nia Winters ever like plain vanilla AJ when she only has eyes for vampires? Perhaps if he dressed up like the vampire hunk of her dreams. Soon enough, AJ is getting more attention from Nia than he bargained for when he learns that she's a slayer. Missing Mike by Sherry Green. Mike is a rescue, a rust-colored mutt. When Kara's family first smells smoke from the approaching wildfire, he gets anxious, and in the chaos of the ordered evacuation, he runs off. In the aftermath of the fire, Kara knows she has likely lost her home and everything in it, but she refuses to believe that she has lost Mike. With the help of a new friend, Kara is headed back into the evacuation zone to search for her dog, and no one is going to stop her. Game Changer by Tommy Greenwald. Teddy Youngblood is in a coma. Family, friends, and teammates flock to his bedside to offer support and talk about what happened that day at football training camp. Was this an accident, an injury you risk by playing a violent sport? Or did something more sinister happen on the field that day? Lifeboat 12 by Susan Hood. With Nazis bombing London every night, it's time for 13-year-old Ken to escape, one of 90 evacuee boys and girls to ship out to safety in Canada. On the 5th day at sea, the ship's officers announce that they're out of danger. They're wrong. Late that night, an explosion hurls Ken from his bunk. They've been hit, torpedoed. Terrified, Ken scrambles aboard Lifeboat 12 with 5 other boys. Only by banding together will they have any chance to survive. Spooked by Gail Jarrow. On Halloween Eve 1938, people across America gathered around the radio to listen to Orson Welles' Mercury Theater. Suddenly, news bulletins interrupted the show. New Jersey had been rocked by mysterious explosions. An invading army's strange and powerful weapons had killed thousands. Many listeners feared the worst. Was America under attack? Was this the start of another world war? Or was this all part of the program? Deep Water by Watt Key. It's the most important rule of scuba diving. If you don't feel right, don't go down. From a master of survival adventure comes this lost-at-sea thrill ride about 2 enemies in deep trouble. Very deep trouble. Out of Left Field by Ellen Klages. Every boy in the neighborhood knows Katie Gordon is their best pitcher, even though she's a girl. But trying out for Little League in 1957? It is a boys' game. Girls are not eligible, period. It's not fair, and Katie's going to do something about it. Inspired by civil rights and with the help of friendly librarians, Katie discovers the forgotten history of female ball players. Maud Nelson, Jackie Mitchell, Toni Stone. Legends on the field now forgotten by everyone except Katie. Like her heroes, Katie won't take no for an answer. Nowhere Boy by Catherine Marsh. After fleeing Syria with his father, 14-year-old Ahmed is left alone in Brussels, Belgium. Desperate, he breaks into a house and hides out in the basement, until he meets Max, a 13-year-old American boy living in Brussels for the year. Their lives collide and friendship begins to grow. What if the heart is wrong? What if you let all these people into your country, your home, and they turn out to be bad people who want to harm you and change your way of life? What if they are not worth your sacrifice? You can't know what anyone's worth unless you give them a chance. Bob by Wendy Mass and Rebecca Stead. It's been 5 years since Livy last visited her grandmother in Australia, and when she finally returns, she finds Bob, a greenish zombie-like creature in a chicken suit, who has been obediently waiting in her closet all this time. Clue by clue, Livy and Bob will unravel the mystery of where Bob comes from and discover the kind of magic that lasts forever. The Miscalculations of Lightning Girl by Stacey McAnulty. 1 year, 1 friend, 1 activity, and 1 book that's not a math textbook. Although she doesn't remember it, Lucy Callahan was struck by lightning 4 years ago, leaving her with genius-level math skills and a severe case of OCD. Since then, she has been homeschooled. At 12 years old, she is technically ready for college, but her grandmother gives her 1 more test to pass: middle school. Mercy Suarez Changes Gears by Meg Medina. Sick grandfather, first crush, target of the school's queen bee. Mercy Suarez knew that 6th grade would be different, but she had no idea just how different. No Fixed Address by Susan Nielsen. Felix's mom, Astrid, can't seem to hold on to a job, so it's not exactly a surprise when they get evicted. He just wasn't expecting to move into their van. Astrid swears him to secrecy. If anyone finds out about their living situation, Felix will be taken away and put into foster care. Things go from bad to worse before Felix finds a strand of hope, a chance to audition for his favorite trivia game show. Felix is certain that winning the cash prize will solve all of his problems. Inkling by Kenneth Oppel. Meet Ethan's new best friend. He's a gorilla. He's a mutant alien superhero. He's a puppy. He's whatever he wants to be because he's made entirely out of ink. Get ready, a little ink blot is about to become your new favorite character. The House That Lou Built by May Respicio. My birthday's coming up, but I don't care about wearing some silly dress or having a huge Sweet 13 like some of the kids at school. There's only one thing I want, my own house. I just have to build it first. This story may be about a tiny house, but it has an enormous heart, says Kate Messner, author of The Exact Location of Home. Ghost Boys by Jewel Parker Rhodes. Time to wake up! I spin around. Who said that? Across the street I see him, wispy like the soft rain. A ghost? Like me? 12-year-old Jerome is shot by a police officer who mistakes his toy gun for a real threat. As a ghost, Jerome witnesses the aftermath of his death, meets Sarah, the daughter of the police officer who shot him, and Emmett Till, another ghost boy from a very different time, but very similar circumstances. Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. Amal is forced to leave her heartbroken family behind and go work at the estate of her Pakistani village's ruling family. It is clear that their hold over her village will never loosen as long as everyone is too afraid to challenge them, so Amal must find a way to work with the other servants to make it happen. Just Like Jackie by Lindsay Stoddard. Robinson has always been her grandpa's right hand in his repair shop, and come sugaring season, but now she's helping out more than ever. When 5th grade bully Alex makes fun of her name and for not having a mom, Robbie just can't keep her hands to herself. Now Robbie's stuck in group guidance at school, and there is no way she's sharing anything, especially about Grandpa. He's all the family Robbie has left, and it's up to her to keep them together, no matter what. The Adventures of a Girl Called Bicycle by Christina Uss. Bicycle, raised at the mostly silent monastery in Washington, D.C., where the monks are permitted only 8 words, yes, no, maybe, help, now, later, sleep, and sandwich, is being sent to camp to improve her social skills and make friends. Instead, she sets off for San Francisco's blessing of the bicycles. Along the way, she ends up with a friendly ghost haunting her handlebars, contends with a bike-loving horse, bike-hating dogs, bike-crushing pigs, a bike-stealing bandit, and discovers that friends might not be such a bad thing to have after all. The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. At night, Prince Sebastian puts on daring dresses and takes Paris by storm as the fabulous Lady Crystalia, the hottest fashion icon in the world capital of fashion. Sebastian's secret weapon is his brilliant dressmaker Francis, who also happens to be his best friend. Francis dreams of greatness, but being someone's secret weapon means being a secret. How long can Francis defer her dreams to protect her friend? Harbor Me by Jacqueline Woodson. Welcome to the art room, a room to talk. A father gone missing, racial profiling, fears of deportation, yearning for family history, desperation to belong. When 6 kids are sent to a room for a weekly chat, no adults allowed, nothing is off limits. Front Desk by Kelly Yang. 10-year-old Mia Tang has a lot of secrets. 1. She lives in the Cala Vista Motel, and every day while her immigrant parents clean the rooms, she manages the front desk. 2. Her parents hide immigrants. If the motel owner finds out immigrants are staying in the empty rooms for free, Mia's family is doomed. 3. She wants to be a writer, but how can she when English is not her first language?